Welcome back to Inside Wildcat Country. Coming up on Friday night, February 10th, the UNH men's hockey team will play a home game against Northeastern at the Whittemore Center. That night will be the 4th annual Operation Hat Trick Night at the Whit. Operation Hat Trick, a program in which wounded American soldiers injured in the line of duty get free caps. A simple enough idea that was hatched right here at UNH by Senior Associate Athletic Director Dot Sheehan. The program in memory of 2 former Navy SEALs, Nate Hardy and Mike Koch. They grew up together, served together, both died while defending our freedom, and are buried together at Arlington National Cemetery. Dot Sheehan, along with President Mark Huddleston and Nate Hardy's parents, all involved in traveling down to visit these wounded warriors, and they have a story to share.
In 2007, I was listening to a Boston radio station, and there was a quiz, a contest. What was the one thing head-wounded soldiers returning from Iraq and Afghanistan wanted the most? So I played along. I couldn't imagine what it could be. And the answer was a baseball cap. And it was to cover wounds, scars, swelling, burns, all of that. And I thought, wow, I mean, something so easy should be able to happen, right? So I thought, well, maybe we could do something at UNH. Our idea was to give hats to wounded and recovering soldiers and veterans in VA medical centers across the country. Unfortunately, a few months after I had this idea, Steve and Donna Hardy's son, Nate, Navy SEAL, was killed in Iraq in February of 2008. And we asked Donna and Steve if we could dedicate this program to them.
Dot and I go back a ways for a variety of reasons, including the fact that her son, Kevin, was my advisee. And it was not long after Nate was killed that Dot was talking to her daughter-in-law, who said to Dot, we're seeing a lot of these vets, wounded warriors coming in with head injuries, and all they want is a hat.
This is a community that really cares and pulls together at times that are difficult, and this is just one manifestation of that, I think. And it's nice to see it go national, obviously not just for UNH, but for the good that it can do for the wounded warriors.
In the 3 years we've been going down to Walter Reed, where the amputees are, and Bethesda, where the burn victims and the head injuries are, there's no moping. It's extraordinary.
President Huddleston comes with us, and I don't know a president in this country that would make that kind of commitment with the schedule he has. And I know he loves the program. He's terribly moved by the program.
I owe them thanks for taking me. I've said before, and I really have meant it, that of all the things I've done since I've been here, I don't think anything has been so moving as participating in that. It's a privilege to go along on one of those trips.
We saw a young man the first year. We had such a big group, and they don't usually allow big groups. 12 is a very big group. They don't usually want more than 5, but they broke us up into groups at Bethesda. There was a young man who had just come in, and they didn't know if he had the flesh-eating disease or not.
This was a severely wounded soldier who really had lost a major part of his skull.
Didn't know if they would amputate his legs, had a head injury, had brain surgery, would not wear the green helmet you need to wear after brain surgery. President Huddleston said to me, do we have a hockey helmet back at UNH? I said, sure. He said, well, I want this young man to have that. So James Van Riemsdyk went pro. We had his helmet signed. We sent it back to Bethesda. We had no idea what this young man's name was, where he was from, any of that.
He just lit up when, because he's a hockey fan, at the thought of having protective headgear that was not simply something that came out of a hospital lab, but it was a real helmet from a great hockey player like James Van Riemsdyk. And it was terrific to see the light in his eyes when that was made possible. Maybe
9 months from then, I got this beautiful postcard from a beautiful young girl and a very, very good-looking young man, and it was him. And she wanted to thank us for that helmet. It made all the difference in his recovery because he'd been a hockey player.
One of the great points of genius in this whole program that Dot developed is the name.
Yeah, Operation Hat
Trick. And that catches people's attention.
We had an Operation Hat Trick night in November of 2008, and we raffled off some hats, gave the proceeds to the VA Medical Center.
when Dot showed us some of the designs for the national phase of Operation Hat Trick, one of them was a camouflage design, a cami. And I know Nate would have scooped one of those up for sure. And he would have bought one for his son Parker, and they would have put them on when they went deer hunting or duck hunting or whatever else. So those are really beautiful hats.
There are 3 designs, 3 new designs, and the whole program has a new design. It's OHT in a circle of 5 stars for all the branches of the military plus the Coast Guard. It will be on the back of the hat, and then every school can put whatever logo they want on the front. And there's a traditional hat, there's one that's mesh, and there's one that's camo, and the camouflage is just a beautiful hat with a raised logo on the front, just terrific.
And if someone sees a hat, Operation Hat Trick, and they say, "What's that?" Well, that requires a little explanation.
It's a story.
And that in and of itself reminds people, let's remember what all these vets have done for us.
While UNH is very proud of its involvement with Operation Hat Trick, it is far more than just a campus-wide promotion now. Over 40 schools nationally now participating in Operation Hat Trick. Hats should be available at those institutions by the end of January. To find out more about Operation Hat Trick, check out our website, unhwildcats.com. That's going to wrap it up for this monthly edition of Inside Wildcat Country. We thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a great holiday season, and we'll see you in 2012 inside Wildcat Country.